and good evening to all my truth seekers. I hope all is good for everybody today, because today is a great day for myself. Actually, every day is a great day. Anyways, I just wanted to put out the next Mandela reality video that I was mentioning in my previous upload from The Flash. Well, this TV program is called Timeless. Another time travel show, of course, but it's quite intricate. You actually have to use your brain for this show, which I like, definitely I like to do. But basically, what's happening here is there was a time traveler terrorist that stole one of the main time travel ships, went back in time to the, what was that called? The Hindenburg, the flying craft that crashed in 1937. So basically they had to go back. They thought that the terrorist was going to try and save the people's lives who died, which would change the future. But in turn, he actually went back to save the people in the beginning of the launch, where the ship blew up from electrocution and the ropes dangling down to the ground touching water. So it zapped and overloaded the ship, blew up the ship, and killed the people that were up there getting things ready. But it wasn't mass casualties, thank the Lord for that. But so what the terrorist is trying to do is actually go back in time to save the launch, which would allow many, many more people to board it, actual customers. So once it's up in the air over the ocean, he was going to blow it up and kill that many more people, which would have definitely screwed up that much more present day timeline. So, needless to say, the team they put together, one is a military dude. I forget what the other guy is. Oh, he's a computer genius. And then Lucy, she's a historian. So, they end up saving the Hindenburg so nobody died. But when they came back, there were reality changes. Changes to them, but not to everybody else in present day timeline. And Lucy is presently the only one witnessing the changes, so to speak. So, the second episode is what we're watching. They went back to 1867 or 1865, right when Lincoln was assassinated by, I'm having a brain fart right now. Wilkes Booth. Yeah. Mr. Booth. He was a famous actor, and he was an actor at the theater. I think it was the Ford Theater, if I'm not mistaken. It might be something else. I'm not a historian, so I can't remember everything, but they were at the theater, and that's where President Lincoln and Lincoln's son were at, watching the play. Well, Lucy and her team actually went back in time, and she actually got to watch the play in real time. And what the terrorist was trying to do was actually kill Vice President Lyndon Johnson, and who else? Another general. I'm not sure of his name. But Reuben, the black military guy, and Wyatt, the computer genius, were protecting the vice president and the general, which they saved. And Lucy She actually called herself Julia Shakesman. She was at the theater with President Lincoln's son as a date kind of thing. And she knew the assassination was coming, so she was going to try and save him, but she said maybe it's meant to be. Maybe Lincoln had to die to get where we are today, but Lincoln was all for the blacks. He abolished slavery. And once he died, John Wilkes Booth, ended up creating basically a white supremacist group. So they were able to retake their stronghold to create that slavery thing again. So if it wasn't for Lincoln dying, we still wouldn't have had slavery moving into the 20th century. But that's neither here nor there. The whole point is about my show showing to you guys another Mandela reality. So I'm going to play the video, I'm going to watch the clip, and then I have to bring it back to the beginning and show you another clip. So there'll be two clips. You'll have to wait for maybe half a minute while I cue the other clip up. It's easier for me to do the ending clip first because I've already got it queued up, and the first scene is much easier to find without having to fast forward through the show and find the ending scene. So when I finish the ending scene, it'll take maybe a half a minute just to bring it back to the beginning of the show, and then we'll continue it from there. Alright, let's get this rolling. Make sure it's loud enough.
Who shot Lincoln?
President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by a tall unknown gunman using an unknown gun on April the 14th, 1865.
But it's all changed.
It's different. John Wilkes Booth now did not actually pull the trigger. One of his cronies did. All he did was plot the assassination now. So even though Lincoln was still killed, but because they intervened and saved the other, well, vice president and the general, the timeline changed. But back in present day reality, everybody knows it to be business as usual. Like, their records have always showed that. But Lucy and her teammates have the memories of when they went to 1865 in the first place, and when they got brought back to 2016 reality, Mandela changes have taken place. So the first one was President Lincoln's assassinator is not John Wilkes Booth no more.
Lincoln.
President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by a tall unknown gunman using an unknown gun on April the 14th, 1865.
But it's all changed. The gunman used to be John Wilkes Booth. Now it's Garcia Flynn.
Well, the assassination was planned by John Wilkes Booth as part of a larger conspiracy. Booth was hunted down and killed. The mysterious gunman also attempted to shoot General Grant. He was saved by an obscure actress named Juliet Shakesman, never seen again. Though there is a high school in Point Pleasant, Ohio, named after her. Well, what's it say about me? I saved Vice President Johnson. Nope, says he did. All that guy did was get shot.
Well, besides the fact that you let Flynn go, it's good work.
But history changed. That's not how it's supposed to be.
It's close enough.
Is it? What if something changed somewhere because of what we did? Maybe someone else lost their sister.
Flynn didn't destroy America or the world. Take the win.
Oh, the world didn't get destroyed, so take the win. Never mind the subtle reality changes that you guys remember and history says otherwise.
Your father, Henry Wallace, your mother, Carol Preston. 2 children. You, Lucy, in 1983, and according to you, your sister was born in 1990.
So how did the Hindenburg change it?
Well, to get straight to the point, Henry never married Carol.
You're saying my father never married my mother?
As far as I can tell, they never even met.
And that's a huge change for Lucy. Her father and her mother actually never even met. So now her father is now not her father. History shows that her father now is somebody completely, entirely different. That's insane. Like, hello? Who's my father now is what I'd be saying. Like, history just completely changed everything in her life. You know, and when she came back from the Hindenburg, her sister was completely gone, vanished out of her entire life, out of history. And her mother was no longer sick anymore. She was well and kicking, alive and kicking. But her sister is gone. And she was telling her mother about Amy. And her mother said, "Who's Amy?" So she actually didn't have a sister. Ever. History shows. But Lucy remembers, obviously, specifically, that she had a sister named Amy. And her mother was sick with a respiratory disease. So, just her being a part of time traveling into the past changed her own present day reality. It's a head scratcher.
Henry married the...
Or change it?
Well, to get straight to the point, Henry never married Carol.
You're saying my father never married my mother?
As far as I can tell, they never even met. Instead, Henry married the granddaughter of Irene Donor, a girl who should have died in the Hindenburg, but didn't.
That explains why my mother doesn't have lung cancer. Dad got her smoking, but since they never married, she never smoked.
Because when she went back in time and saved the Hindenburg, the woman that was survived on the Hindenburg ended up marrying her past father, her past reality father. Therefore, her mother obviously had a child with somebody else and created Lucy. Which means Lucy has a different father. She has no clue who it is. Which means her mother also knows about this and has been lying to her daughter about it her whole life. But up to a month prior to her going on this time travel trip, her mother was sick. She knew her father to be who it's supposed to be, Harry or Henry. But now he's not her father, and her mother is not sick, and her mother's memories are that she's been lying to her daughter the whole time. Even though prior to the Hindenburg time travel trip, her mother wasn't lying her whole life to her because her father was her father then. But he's not now. Definitely a Mandela change. You know, one minute you got a father and you got a sick mother, and next minute you don't have a father and you don't have a sick mother. Nuts.
Irene Donor, a girl who should have died in the Hindenburg, but didn't.
That explains why my mother doesn't have lung cancer. Dad got her smoking, but since they never married, she never smoked. No cancer.
It also explains why Amy was never born.
Right, because my parents never met. But they're still my parents.
Keep going.
So, wait a minute. How was I born?
You're almost there. Yeah. He got it.
Carol's my mother, but Henry's my father never was. I'm a
History shows him, Henry, to never ever have been her father. About a month ago, he was. That timeline reality change is huge. And it would drive me mental. I would go insane. You know your father your whole life. And then all of a sudden, he's not your father.
Yeah. He got it.
Carol's my mother, but Henry's my father never was. My mother's been lying to me my whole life.
Technically, now she has.
I'm not recording him anymore. I don't care who Rittenhouse is. Lucy and Wyatt trust me, and I'm not spying on them. Rufus, who took you out of West Chicago and sent you to MIT? Who bought your mother a house and a car? Oh, yes, that's right. Brought you onto one of the most important scientific projects of all time. And I am grateful for all of that. Well, gratitude doesn't repay your debt. Those recordings do.
So, Rufus has to spy on Wyatt and Lucy. Not a very good trade-off for spying on your new friends because you owe somebody a debt for buying your mother a house and putting you through school. Yeah, this is what humanity has come to. Egotistical, selfish, greedy. Brilliant show either way though. Okay, I'm going to put the phone down for a sec. I'm going to bring it back to the beginning and we'll finish this off. Bear with me, everybody. Alright, not even half a minute. I told ya. That was much quicker queuing the beginning part up than it would have been finding the end part first. Or, sorry, the end part second. Alright, let's...
I really am glad to see you. Okay. Don't forget about tomorrow night. Yeah.
What's funny is she doesn't even know what tomorrow night is. Because this new reality, she now has a fiance, which she has no clue who he is. And it's her anniversary party. At the end of the show, it shows her at the party talking with her mother, confronting her about lying to her whole life. And her fiance comes up to her and kisses her, and she's got this real puzzled look on her, like, who are you? I guess I'm engaged to you. But, yeah, that's another reality change for her, where she doesn't even know what she's supposed to be doing tomorrow. Because when she came back, her whole timeline reality has changed.
So Flynn took out the mothership again, huh? Where'd he go?
I don't know, I just got here.
Hey, what's changed in your lives?
Well,
Since we got back from 1937, what has changed for you?
I just had an unsuccessful evening with a girl, so nothing really.
why? What's wrong?
Your sister's gone.
Gone where?
Gone as in erased from history. Something that Flynn did or we did to the Hindenburg has changed my family. My mother isn't sick anymore, and my sister was never born.
Lucy, we have a dossier on you, and it doesn't say anything about a sister.
Exactly. Present day history shows she never had a sister, ever. You know, one could think that Lucy has gone nuts from time traveling. But in the first episode, we see Amy, Lucy's sister, right before Lucy gets taken by the government to be brought into this program. So she clearly does have a sister in the previous reality timeline. So, yeah. Now the dossier says, no, it says you never had a sister. That's a massive, massive change. I've seen some videos on YouTube where people have actually lost their family members or have gained a new family member that hasn't been there before. This is definitely depicting a Mandela reality. It might have a little bit left to show. Let's check it out.
Something that Flynn did or we did to the Hindenburg has changed my family. My mother isn't sick anymore, and my sister was never born.
Lucy, we have a dossier on you, and it doesn't say anything about a sister.
Look, this is her, right here.
You wore this on the trip back to 1937? That is incredible. You took it from a timeline where your sister existed.
Wow. She literally pulled an alternate reality photo or object into the new reality. So that's another reason why she's remembering her sister, is because of inanimate objects. Like, that's insane. It's like pulling a memory forward with you into a new timeline reality of a memory from a previous reality that has been changed. She pulled an article of clothing through the timeline into a new reality timeline from the old timeline from 1937, when she originally had her sister in the first place. Oh shit. It might have a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right here.
You wore this on the trip back to 1937? That is incredible. You took it from a timeline where your sister existed, carried it here to where she doesn't.
I do not share your excitement, Mr. Mason. Whatever changed, you have to change back. Change it back.
I'm sorry, Lucy, but Flynn is hours ahead of us. We don't have time for this.
And I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it was an article of clothing or if it was a locket with her picture in it. I am visually impaired, so I can't tell. I'm just taking a wild guess. Either it's a locket with a photo or an article of clothing. But how could you prove it was your sister's if it was an article of clothing? You could just say that. If her photo is in a locket, that proves right there, without a doubt, that she definitely had a sister. So I'm sorry if I said article of clothing and it was a picture in a locket or something. I'm just taking a best guess kind of thing. So, but yeah, if it is a picture, there's the residue proof right there.
Here to where she doesn't.
I do not share your excitement, Mr. Mason. Whatever changed, you have to change back. Change it back.
I'm sorry, Lucy, but Flynn is hours ahead of us. We don't have time for this.
Why not? We have a time machine, don't we?
Flynn could be decimating history right now. Our reality could change like that any second. You need to go.
Not until we figure this out.
Lucy.
Hey, you dragged her into all this. She just lost her sister. Give her a damn minute.
Flynn went back to April 14th, 1865. Now you need to get moving, and you need to eliminate Garcia Flynn. Are we clear?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Wait, what's April 14th, 1865?
The assassination of Abraham Lincoln.
All right. That would be it. But clearly, Timeless is showing us they are also living within a Mandela reality change. And they are showing us residual residue leaking through. So, yeah, I love doing these videos. You know, we've done the continent changes and corporate logo changes and all those examples. We've done them to death. But picking Mandela reality scenarios out of programs and actually knowing that it truly is a Mandela change is obviously the next step in us figuring this out. You know, it's one thing just to speculate on these items and logos changing and wondering what it could be, but to actually see a pattern of time travel programs depicting a Mandela reality. It is truly phenomenal. I'm honestly thinking that it is time travel. You know, they apparently mastered, what was it, 7 different kinds of time travel by the 70s. You know, I'm not going to get into the types, but regardless, if they mastered time travel in the 70s, how long have they been doing this? Creating this Mandela reality. All I know is, even the boss lady there, she says, our reality could change in a split second. So we have to get things going on this topic and try and figure it out. I love you all, everybody. Keep truth seeking. Do something good for everybody every day. It'll make them feel great, and it'll give us great karma. I love you all. Have a great night.